Okay, Jesse, whenever you're ready.
Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Public Works Committee meeting for Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025 at 5 p.m. We're starting the meeting at 5:01. With that, we will get to the first agenda item, gravel pit management issues discussion. Mr. Tom.
Yeah, what this is, why this came up on the agenda is a couple reasons. The primary one was is we had a pretty good late fall, as most people are aware. The weather was beautiful right up into November. Well, there were several people that were asking us to extend how long it's open. My guys can't wait to close the gate. So anyway, that's one item I would like to address is the length of the season. So right now, if you focus in on this sign on the picture there, you'll see that the pit is open until Halloween, and then it's closed. So it's open May 1st to October 31st. Now usually, like the May 1st, we get some comments once in a while for that's open prior to that too. So that date is somewhat, we try to put it close to when road restrictions go off. So, um, yeah, you can have some nicer weather in April, but you can also have some pretty lousy weather in April too. So, the whole thing with the gravel pit, it wasn't open to the general public until a few years ago when we had the blowdown in 2015. And we opened it up then, to allow people to get rid of the huge volume of trees that were blown down at that time. And we just never closed it again after that. And so it's kind of become just like our recycling over here, it's just continues to grow. And so, one of the other issues that we're having is we're getting a lot of commercial dumpers. And we would like to restrict that. Now, every time we pull one of them over, they'll say, well, I'm working for so-and-so private resident. Now, the intention of it was just so that somebody who has, say, a pickup load of branches or leaves has someplace to bring it. When they start coming with end dumps and dump trailers and several loads of it, I don't think that's really the intention of why we opened this up. And so I'd like to get a little feedback on that as well. Um, and then just like the recycling, it's being abused. We've signs all over that say, well, right there it says accepting tree and lawn debris only. Well, we get concrete, rocks, uh, anything that they don't want to deal with finds its way down there. Now, we don't man the facility, and I don't think that we should. Um, it's open 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., which coincides with when the schedule of my guys that are there. So when they drive by, if they see something, they'll say something. But so if you go through the pictures here a little bit, just to kind of show you what things look like. So we've added this year the yellow signs that you see there, kind of directing people where to put things, because that was one of the other issues that we were having is people just dumping things willy nilly. So then we have to have somebody go down there with a loader and sort it. So that's gotten a little better with the signage. This next picture I have, this is our class 5 pile. Now this we have to pay for, but people like to rob from that, but they don't ask. And if you look back at that first slide that I had showing the main sign at the gate, no taking anything out without written permission. People never read this sign. I've had people ask me, where is this gravel pit? And they're standing right out, they're sitting out on Lower Roy Lake Road right in front of it.
Who even gets written permission, Tom?
Almost no one. The only things I really like to let out are we allow tree services to dump wood chips, and we get a huge volume of them. So I'll give those out freely just because we got so many. But anything else, pretty much, no.
Hmm.
Well, and that's why we say it's with written permission, because we have had contractors from time to time use our pit during a construction project, like, especially if they're working for us, if they're doing something for us, then I'll sometimes let them in there. So if they dump something in there, I want written permission that it's going back out, so kind of covers both of us,
Right.
so.
This whole thing is gated, right?
It is,
So somebody has to go down. Do that.
we open it at 8 a.m. and we close it at 3:30. And we've had quite a few people that want it open different hours. And I said, well, it's a free service. If that doesn't work for you, it's open a long time. I mean, we all get a day off here and there. You could find time to get out there, I would think. We don't open it on the weekend. I know that's probably more convenient for people, but there are other places they can take the same stuff that we take. A couple of the private contractors Stumballs have a pit right across the road from us. Mike's Tree Service takes stuff. I'm sure there's others. So for us, it was mostly a storm depository. And I guess, I get a lot of questions from my guys saying, why can't we just shut it all together unless we have a storm? And so that's why I wanted to bring it up here. I don't think that we should shut it all together probably, but I'm kind of hoping to get a little reaffirmation of the rules that we've got. possibly.
Is that concrete?
So next slide is concrete pile. So this is one of the things that people bring that we don't want. And the reason is we have to crush this eventually, and that doesn't come free. So, but you'd be amazed, and a lot of them are little contractors bring in stuff and they'll say it's coming from private citizens, which it probably is, but you're a contractor. We,
Private citizens, they're customer.
yeah, they're charging for it. Like during the blowdown, for instance, I know we had contractors coming up here from the cities that were charging people for the dumping several thousands of dollars, and we didn't see a dime of that. And often they would just haul the stuff right to the edge of the road, and we would haul it away. So I really would like to limit contractors. I want to make it clear, no contractors. But that could be challenging too, without somebody at the gate.
It's enough service to have to
Mm-hmm. And most people are good about it. They bring their few little trailer loads of leaves, and that's fine. But more and more, we're getting contractors in the area, especially newer ones who maybe don't have an alternative and they like to bring it here. So this right here is the current brush pile from 2026. And so I wanted to give you an idea of the volume of material. We've compacted this and pushed it up with our loader over the summer to get it to be this small. I'd say we push it up daily to make it look like this. What'll happen now is when there's a break in snow plowing action, the guys will light this on fire. That's how we get rid of it. During the blowdown, we actually had a company come in that would chip all that because they had an outlet for it. They would take it down to, I think it was Ortonville. There was a biosolids furnace processing power plant kind of place that has since shut down, and so there's no market value of this material currently, not enough to warrant doing anything with it. And this one, I just wanted to give you an idea of the volume of material. So where you see that sign that says leaves pointing to that big pile, snow-covered pile, that's how much leaves we've collected since 2015. That's a huge pile. The picture doesn't do it justice, but there's a lot there, a lot of material. So
Which it's organic material. So it's essentially compost.
yeah,
Then what are we gonna do with it?
right now, nothing. We're just leaving it there. We don't have compost turners or anything. We could go out there with a loader, I guess, and turn it, but we don't have a marketable product for it of it, I guess, you know, it's not consistent probably. But that would be one thing. If somebody said they wanted it for compost, we'd let them take as much as they want. No, that's what I was just saying. We don't have,
There's special machinery.
yeah. So when I worked for City of Hutchinson,
Front end loader?
No, it's a-
It's just,
windrows it.
what do you call it? Go down the row and then you windrow it and then they turn it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That a few times.
So the windrows, when they do that, are probably about 5, 6 feet high and about the same width. And the idea is to, I'd rather not. Anyway, we have it there. It's not a problem at the point, but it's quite a volume. You know, 5, 6 years, this is what we've accumulated, so. And then the piles to the right of it that don't have any snow on it, that's wood chips. So we have a huge amount of wood chips. It's not the clean stuff that you would buy probably from one of the garden centers, but if you just wanted some general wood chips for something, please give me a call. You can take as much as you like. That's pretty much it. I guess just looking for some feedback as citizens of Nisswa, what would you like to see done different, if anything?
I'll start with one item. I mean, if you had a guess, how many hours in a calendar year do we have Public Works employees tending to this? Adding up all the hours.
I would say they spend 4 or 5 hours a week on average, maybe a little more.
So about 250 to 300. Holy smokes. Okay.
We're-
And those individuals' time could be used better elsewhere or based off of your department needs?
I think what I would, if we could get less abuse of it,
But how do you monitor the abuse,
yeah,
right?
I don't have a good way. When we were talking about the recycling over here, that was gonna be in the same spot. And at that time, we were looking at an electronic gate and people would have had a code or we would have had it manned, one or the other. When that was there, it barely made economical sense then, and now, of course, it wouldn't. So, the only other thing I thought of doing was, limiting when it's open. You know, I don't know if I could just have it open on a Saturday once a month.
Well, you got, I mean, you don't have guys on the clock continuously on Saturdays,
Do not,
so
I would probably hire somebody part-time to deal with that.
It's more of a service for residents and just, you know, you probably know already the contractors, you know, that are using it.
Yeah, I've kicked a few of them out already.
And, you know, force that.
but you gotta have somebody there to enforce it.
Yeah.
You don't have a, camera. That gate is open in the morning, closed at night. I mean, I could go in there with a demoed house and you wouldn't even know who dropped it off, right?
It's true.
So I see this going one way or the other. My opinion is it's just for the use of it from citizens, that's great. And I mean, I used to dirt bike in there when I was a kid. Go to Stumballs Pit and then go over there because it was all sand.
Mm-hmm.
There was no concrete with rebar sticking out. There was no compost and there was no various tree debris from storms, right?
Yeah.
If this is going to be maintained, would it not behoove us to consider having some additional ramped up security in there with a camera, with a motorized gate, with perhaps some sort of system? This is a far-fetched one, so bear with me. But a code, like perhaps you enter your house number and to be able to gain access. I don't know.
Yeah, we talked about that. having an electronic gate, and people would purchase a pass, kind of like they do, say, a golf cart pass. And then that would be the number that they'd type in to get in. But
Or you, perhaps, I don't want to say close it, but perhaps we consider like seriously limiting when this thing's open. You have a window in
so
the springtime, a window in the fall, and then it's open again in the summer during an emergency event, such
Yeah.
as,
Yeah.
the storm of 15, 16, and 17, right?
Yeah. I think if I could make a suggestion of what, from our standpoint, might make some sense. We have a guy that comes in each day on the weekend for a short time to check on the sewer plant. So they're here for about 3 hours. I could maybe extend that a little bit to where maybe we had this open for 4 hours on a Saturday morning.
Why not?
And then if we had a larger storm, like you say, then we could open it up more.
And then maybe some extended hours during the summer and fall.
I mean, like my thought for sure would be the fall with the leaf compost, right? Like, hey, we're gonna open this thing up again for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And we can advertise when it is. Because we all kind of know when our leaves are falling around the same time. That would be my thought, because again, I mean, if I had to ask you right now, what are you gonna do, what are you and your guys gonna do to get that concrete and that bar out of there?
When the pile gets big enough to where we can't get around it for our normal use of the pit, we will hire a contractor to come in and crush it.
More money.
Yeah.
More money. 250, $300 a year for your folks doing that. I mean, you could go over to Nisswa Elementary School and be the flag guy, so the kids across the street could probably get more use out of that than what this is bringing, right? And that's no knock. It's just,
Yeah.
it's interesting,
Yeah, I think,
especially with the other options out there. I mean, you have, what's the recycling place over by the airport? Crow, is that?
oh, the county
Yeah,
landfill.
yeah, county landfill, and then you got Crow Wing Recycling, which is southeast of town, old highway. You got Hengel's. I mean, these places take anything and everything. So I don't buy it when somebody says it's close in Nisswa, I want to go there. Well, where do you go get your sneakers? You go to Kohl's? Well, we don't got one in Nisswa. People travel for the things that they need. And if you got to drive an extra 5, 10 minutes with your trailer full of leaves, then so be it, because it's going to cost you, the taxpayer resident of Nisswa, money that you don't even know of yet to clean up people's abuse.
Yeah, I don't think most people recognize the expenses that go into running something like this.
Most people don't, I'll expand on that. Most people don't understand a lick of what goes on in this city until they get pissed off about something. Like, I give Ron a lot of credit for coming here and taking notes, because he's been doing that for the last 3 quarters, and God bless him for it. That's why we deal with this crap on social media, because these people are just misinformed because they cherry pick,
Yeah.
right? But, and that's all they'll take from this, is the city's taking away something from you, when rather you could have posed the question of why? Well, this is why. We're gonna have to pay $3,000 to have Hengel's come and pick this up and crush this concrete and separate the bar, because it's rusted.
Mhm. I think a lot of why I brought this up tonight was just education too, because
Mhm.
I don't think people realize what it takes to run this.
Yep.
They just see themselves going out there with a little dump trailer, they dump it themselves, and they think that's all there's to it, and just a gravel pit, what's it hurt?
Right.
I think what I'll do is I'll follow up with this maybe next month or sometime later this winter, with a plan of what we would like to do as staff, and then we can focus on the points we talked about tonight.
Sure.
And then I would just ask you to make a recommendation at that time to the council.
And on that note, I did get a text back from Galen. He said he still is intending to be on this council. He said he just was not able to make it tonight in the past couple times, so.
Alright. Wasn't sure if he was getting the notices, so appreciate the heads
Yep.
up. So
I'm gonna grab so.
that's it for the gravel pit. Wait for Jesse for the next item.
Okay, we'll go to item number 2, lift station number 1 rebuild for 2026 update. Wherever you want.
Wherever is you're more comfortable at. There you go. I didn't give any kind of a handout or anything to anyone, so.
Okay, I have handouts if people want them. I wanted to, so again, Morgan Salo, project manager with Bolton and Mink, working on lift station design. And wanted to have the opportunity to go through and just provide a little update on where things are at with the lift station process here. I do have a handout. It's kind of a rough sketch of kind of the discussion of the transparency of where do we want this lift station to go on the site. I'll give a little update on timelines. Survey is complete. We have the survey done. We got the inverts for all the manholes. We did the 360 camera in the manholes to check the condition of the manholes as well going into this lift station wet well. So that is all complete. We coordinated to make sure the property boundary was that is currently being pursued for purchase is correct. The property descriptions to make sure we have all accurate information. Woodseth was very helpful with that portion of that. We confirmed that that's all good to go there. And so the next pieces of this is we're going to be putting a data request together to start gathering some additional information on existing flows, existing pumps, existing pump operations, existing pump run hours to evaluate all of the components going into this to verify the capacity, and then looking at the force main capacity of the current force main. In addition to getting planning documents and looking at the big picture scope of what is the planned development for the drainage area for the gravity system that this lift station will handle, to ensure that we look at the future capacity of the lift station for not just 5, 10, 20 years down the road, but long-term ultimate flows. There are some strategies when it comes to lift station design to look at that, such that if there's not planned development for the next, let's say, 10 to 15 years, where you're going to see those larger increases in flows, you can design structures so that the structure is built for that ultimate flow, and then phase pumps in over the years so that you can get a pump that meets your better flow parameters today. And then when you need those bigger pumps, everything, and include the electrical system, is all set up for a larger horsepower pump. And so that's kind of the theory going into this lift station design. I do have some handouts if you want to look at just some sketches about what we're envisioning. We'll share these with Tom as we work through the process to develop the lift station design. That's kind of where we're at, and the next step is getting that background data to really dive into the design, and then start developing this in modeling software to start looking at in 3 dimensions of what this is actually going to look like. One of the pieces I do want to bring up and just for discussion is to talk about the eventual tree removal that would be required if this lift station goes on the site, and just conforming with the rules in the state of Minnesota with tree removal. That is something to discuss just depending on when the project moves forward into construction, to ensure we're following all applicable rules for the bats in Minnesota. That I am still working with our environmental and funding group to verify components and all the rules and regulations on that. So that there is information forthcoming on that. I just want to make people aware of the situation there, that we want to be considerate of that as we work through the winter and when this project is going to bid.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so Morgan, one thing that needs to happen too, Tom Pearson, our city attorney, is working on ownership for the site.
Yes.
So I'll probably be sharing your information with him so that if there's any need to change what we're looking at to purchase there, he can make those changes. But he's working on that right now, so I don't know where he's at in that process.
Yep. Yes, and that you've been very good with the information coming to us on that and where that process is at. I just wanted to have something on paper so we can start that discussion and work with staff to make sure that this is the right direction moving forward, so that we can have that transparency and that there's no surprises when this lift station site plan comes out. It's like, why is it going over here?
Yeah.
So in Minnesota, and there's a federally endangered northern long-eared bat, and there is tree removal restrictions. And my AI here says that it's from April 1st to October 31st, that you're not allowed to remove trees. I am making sure that how this is gonna move forward with some of this stuff. We've dealt with it on various projects, and treatment infrastructure, where a lot of tree removal happens in the winter months. So.
Yeah, we ran into that for the Gull Lake Bike Trail 2 years in a row.
Yeah, and I'm sure Dave has seen stuff as well with it's a federally endangered species, and so these rules are semi-recent over the last few years. And so there are provisions we do need to follow with infrastructure projects on when trees can be removed.
Yep.
So, and there are options to address that too, such as some cities have taken liberty to just take the trees down on their own in the winter months before you get a contractor on board, and then the contractor is responsible for stump grinding and stuff like that. So there's different options there we just want to discuss.
Sure.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it, unless you have any questions on the timeline or the process. Like I said, moving forward, we're gonna be data collection and analysis as we get into the design.
Yeah, and I would say the timelines is a little fluid right now until, one, the ownership issue is figured out, and two, how that affects things like the tree removal, so.
Yep. And there's flexibility in a lot of that too, depending how staff wants to move forward with the project, so.
Any questions from our city engineer? Mr. Tom, anything from you? Okay, appreciate it, Morgan.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, with that, we will then go to the last item on the agenda, which is the topic for the 2026 road bond update and plan review. As we all know, we're going to be having a public information meeting in 32 minutes from now. Hence, the table set up and hoping to try to get some sense of a turnout.
So I'm handing in on basically the presentation, which is very short. Get things off, the folks that show up. This gives you a preview of the slides of what you're doing. And in that, just hitting the high points, we've got the scope, timeline, costs, and then taking the majority of the time to allow folks to take a look at the plans, ask questions. This is an informal meeting, it's not a hearing decision to be just for informational purposes. So we have a project scope. It's basically improve public safety, property access, drivabilities for green. And go on the other side of all these roads to get this investment in your operating structure. Used to minimize pavement. So obviously, 18 still probably.
Mhm.
Change in this was something on the day.
What does FDR stand for?
Pavement base, letting it in place, leaving it in place. Next. Gravel base and paving, etc. We've done this time and time again in these. Really works well, especially in Granite Lakes area. Seldom that you get tricked by soils or something of that nature that you have to deal with. So the design section that we base these projects on is very confident, cost effective, more cost effective, procedure, much more cost effective. And it minimizes construction impacts on this roadways so that we don't have to extensive right of way acquisition.
Mhm.
So that's minimizing costs. So that's really the only distinction. For this year, instead of full construction, almost 3. Okay. And timeline. Brief with this, but that's at about the 30% plan level. Street bond hearing. Look at schedule.
Hmm.
Construction season. Summer. I think that they could probably sort of potentially in September, October, paving usually ends October 15th. And it all depends on when it just gets sketchy that time.
Mhm.
So, all in all, they all should be able to be the summertime frame. Estimated project costs. That's into die on every road. Sometimes going to each road, but it gives you the scope cost of each road. So this is fairly close. What done to the city previously. Still,
Yeah. I thought that number would last at like 5 or 5.5.
Thinking all that costs.
Yeah, yeah. And we shook out that. Yeah, okay.
We have some built into this one. The ours costs, but you know, until all the appraisal accounts for that. That was kind of a bit of a question. What's that?
Yeah.
We've done a lot of work to try to minimize.
The skinny version compared to where we were at before. Yeah. Longevity of these roads, I don't mean to interrupt you on the run through on this, but longevity of the roads.
So, section of this. The normal design line that everyone shoots for things. Yeah, proper maintenance and it's like anything else, you start looking at variables that impact the road. Anything you have, it's how you use it, how you take it.
Yep.
Determines how long.
All right. Okay.
Mentality of kind of like buying a car, new car, shut, never changing the second and last one.
Unless it's a Honda. Okay.
Quick recap. That. Yeah. Plans. Create those out.
Yep.
So you can go through those, maybe you want to throw one of those on there. But you see kind of what that looks like. You've got some roll maps to build some to roll out on stables here. We may not get all of them in paper form, so we'll make do with some screen.
They just take a little bit to load.
Kind of big files. There's a lot of background. So that's large for folks to be able to see and all out there.
It was too, I tried to do it once to see what it looked like.
There you go.
Sir, are you here for the road hearings? All right, so that'll start at 6. You kindly come during the midst of the Public Works Commission meeting, so we haven't really started the road hearing or I'm trying to say.
Information meeting.
Information.
That's for the voice.
Oh, you don't say. Yeah. It's like when people come here for a topic, I emailed you today, put them at the bottom of the agenda, let them sit here for 2 hours. I think Morgan, that happened to you the first time you're here, right? It's 2 hours later. Anything else for the run through? Anything else on the run through?
No, I think, we're just at the point where want to see what we're gonna do this summer
Yep.
and get people's feedback on that and then, try to put together a final product for, the public hearing then in January is where we're headed.
Let's make this a good run through. We'll be doing it again next year. Okay. Well, without that, we'll go to the last item, January 28th, 2026, regular Public Works Committee meeting. I had a question to pose to all of you. Is there any desire to accommodate my selfishness in moving this meeting on January 28th, a week earlier? Any objection?
Let me look.
Ron? Oh, you're here.
Let's see.
So it would be the Wednesday after our regular council meeting? Should be what the. Yep,
It's 21st. It looks like I'm good.
okay.
That accommodates going somewhere more.
Yes, with a new child. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Just want to throw it out there.
Looks good by me.
Okay. Dave, you okay with that? Maggie?
Yeah.
Okay, Ron? Okay, well, we will move the next regularly scheduled Public Works Committee meeting to Wednesday, January 21st at 5 PM. And with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn the meeting. And I will second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.